Have you ever been in a situation where someone seems into you one day, distant the next, and suddenly warm again? As if your relationship has a Wi-Fi connection controlled by someone hiding behind a wall? You tell yourself, they're probably busy. Then they send a sweet message at midnight, and your brain starts writing a 3-season Netflix series. This is the psychology of mixed signals. They can feel more intense than clear affection. But intensity is not always intimacy. Sometimes uncertainty itself makes you feel in love. Think about someone who gives you enough attention to keep you invested, then disappears and returns like nothing happened. There is no clear yes, but never a clean no either. That ambiguity creates a psychological loop. You analyze texts and treat every delay as evidence. The more uncertain you become, the more valuable every small sign of affection feels. Here is the first key. Your brain does not experience uncertainty as neutral. When an outcome is unpredictable, attention increases. This connects to intermittent reinforcement, where unpredictable rewards can create unusually persistent behavior. If you knew a message would arrive every 5 minutes, you'd eventually stop caring. But if it could arrive at any moment, you keep checking. In relationships, the reward might be affection, validation, or a sudden moment that makes you feel chosen again. That explains why mixed signals can become addictive without the other person necessarily being manipulative. Your mind begins chasing the next moment of certainty. You don't just want the person, you want the relief that comes when their behavior finally matches what you hoped it meant. Sometimes what feels like chemistry is actually the emotional high of uncertainty being resolved, followed by the fear that it could disappear again. But there is another layer, the need to prove yourself. When someone alternates between closeness and distance, your mind may ask, what do I need to do to make them choose me? Suddenly, the relationship becomes a test. You become more attentive and start editing your messages, hoping you'll finally find the formula that makes them consistent. Pause there. If you've ever spent 20 minutes rewriting, "Hey, how are you?" to sound casual enough, congratulations. Your brain has turned a text message into a diplomatic summit. But underneath the joke is something serious. When another person's inconsistency becomes a puzzle, you can lose sight of a better question. Do I actually like how this relationship makes me feel? This creates an emotional trap. You're no longer responding only to who they are. You're responding to who they could be. You become attached not just to a person, but to a possibility. Look beyond isolated moments and examine consistency. Do their actions match their words? Do you feel secure enough to be yourself, or are you constantly monitoring their mood? When you express a need, do they communicate or make you feel needy? Most importantly, does the relationship create more clarity over time or more confusion? Healthy attraction can contain uncertainty at the beginning. People get busy and communicate imperfectly, but healthy connection tends to move toward greater clarity. Mixed signal dynamics often move in circles. Closeness, confusion, distance, anxiety, reconnection, relief, and then the cycle begins again. The strongest way to break that cycle is not to become better at decoding someone. It's to become better at observing yourself. When they pull away, do you feel rejected? Do you suddenly value them more because they're less available? That reaction is information. It doesn't automatically mean you're in love. It may mean uncertainty has captured your attention. Real love does not require you to constantly investigate your position in someone's life. It can be exciting and imperfect, but underneath it there is safety. You don't have to earn basic respect. You don't have to decode affection, and you don't have to become a detective to discover whether someone actually wants to be there. So the next time someone gives you mixed signals, don't immediately ask, what do they mean? Ask a more powerful question. What is this pattern doing to me? Maybe that's the real reason mixed signals feel like love. They combine hope with uncertainty, attention with absence, and connection with the fear of losing it. That volatility can feel profound, but profound does not always mean healthy, and intense does not automatically mean meaningful. Sometimes love feels calm precisely because you don't have to fight your way into certainty. If this helped you understand something you've experienced, like the video, Share it with someone who might need to hear it, and subscribe to Mind Mapping for more psychology, relationships, and self-understanding. And remember, when someone keeps you guessing, don't spend all your energy solving the mystery. Pay attention to how the mystery makes you feel.